It's a great pleasure to have an opportunity to present you results of Finnish-Croatian scientific collaboration. In this presentation, we will try to provide some arguments for developing of cooperation between second home users and local actors in order to yield more economic benefits for host communities based on stronger social inclusion of second home users into local community. But first, let me say a few words about the context. And we all know that for a couple of decades, rural development has been associated with a change in the dominant mode of land use, where agricultural production loses its importance and the rural area becomes more and more a destination for leisure purposes. Such post-productivist changes in the rural areas are also connected to second home expansion, which is often motivated by the search for an idyllic natural landscape. Of course, second homes often transform the same landscape with their appearance. However, besides changing the landscape, second home development also affects local economy and initiates specific social dynamics in a host area. Intensity of this interrelation of second homes and local social and economic development is site-dependent, but also could be determined by key features of the phenomenon itself. In the following presentation, we will analyze socio-spatial patterns of second home development in Croatia and Finland, looking for potentials to enhance benefits from second home expansion for host communities. So, for start, we will take a look at second home development in Croatia. According to the last census from 2011, there were around 250,000 second homes in Croatia. We have continued rise in the number of second homes for the last 50 years, and in the last intercensus period, its number significantly rose. The number of second homes in period between 2001 and 2011 increased for 36%. In parallel with the increase in the number of second homes, a demographic crisis has been unfolding in Croatia. Over the last 30 years, we have lost about 10% of our population. Going further, our research shows that about 16% of Croatian households own a second home. That's every 6th household in Croatia. And they are a quite heterogeneous group. Second homes are more prevalent among wealthier households indeed, but second home ownership does not have an exclusive character in Croatia. About a half of the surveyed households with a second home fall into the middle income category. Nevertheless, there are households with second homes, about 10% of them, whose income is near the national poverty line. Concerning the type of settlements, presented numbers should suggest that the majority of second homes were located in small rural settlements. The interesting fact is that both these processes, the decline in the number of permanent and the rise in the number of temporary residents, were predominantly a rural and peripheral phenomenon. However, second homes are not evenly distributed across the rural and peripheral areas of Croatia, as you can see on this map. In order to identify settlements with increased number of second homes, a typology differentiating following three categories of settlements was developed. In first category, we have settlements without second homes. In second category, we have settlements with a number of second homes that's below the national average, and in the third category we have settlements with a number of second homes that's above the national average. For categorization of settlements, we use two indicators of the second home prevalence at the national level. So we translated indicators from the national to the settlement level. First indicator was the proportion of second homes in the total national housing stock that amounts to 11%. And the second indicator, obtained by dividing the total number of second homes with the total number of settlements in Croatia, showed the average number of 37 second homes per settlement. So in Croatia, there are 6,756 settlements, out of which 968 settlements have a number of second homes that's above the national average. These 968 settlements make only 14% of total number of settlements, but include about 80% of all second homes in Croatia. So this analysis shows tendency of spatial clustering, and on this map we can see 3 zones with larger concentration of second homes. First zone is in central Croatia around the national capital. Second smaller zone is in eastern Croatia at river banks of Danube and Drava rivers. But coastal counties are most attractive for second homes. In this region we have a couple of counties with 60 and more second homes per 100 occupied dwellings, and even about 50 municipalities with more second homes than occupied dwellings. On this slide you can see data about frequency of second home use and also about distance between primary and second home. The analysis of data relating to the distance between their first and second home has indicated that about 2/3 of households have their second homes within the distance of about 100 kilometers, or translated into commuting distance, they can reach the second home within less than 90 minutes. This circumstance is reflected on the frequency of second home use, and about 54% of respondents said that they use their second homes at least once a month. In other words, more than half of the respondents use their second homes occasionally throughout the whole year. On this slide, you can see some examples of second home development. More precisely, you can see 3 different locations of intensive second home development in Croatia. Pictures in the first row are from Okrug, a small municipality in the county of Split, Dalmatia, that's in the middle of Croatian Adriatic coast. Okrug is placed on the island of Čiovo, and according to the last census, in 2011, Okrug had about 2,000 second homes and about 1,200 occupied dwellings. In second row, we have pictures from Červar Porat, a small holiday resort town. In fact, it is the first purpose-built second home and tourist destination on the east side of Adriatic. It is placed in western Croatia in Istria County. The settlement is consisted of about 2,000 dwelling units, mostly in multi-dwelling houses and mostly used as second homes. Picture in the last row depicts situation in Almaš, small village in eastern Croatia and in Osijek-Baranja County, that's in the continental part of the country. Almaš is placed on the hill slope above the Danube River, near the confluence of the Danube and the Drava rivers. In 2011, there were about 700 second homes and only about 250 occupied dwellings. First photo in each row is an aerial photo from mid-1960s, and it depicts the situation before second home development started. Following photos are showing current situation. So we have here 3 settlements in which second home phenomenon is one of the key components of their socio-spatial transformation. And there are a growing number of similar cases, especially alongside the Croatian coastline. But enough about Croatia, let's go now quick back to Finland. Considering that you are more familiar with the situation in your country, I'll give you just a short overview of second home development in Finland. So Finland has twice as many second homes than in Croatia, which is not surprising considering that Finland has plenty of coastline, islands and lakes to build second homes. Most of them are located in lakeland area in central and eastern Finland and by the sea, especially in the archipelago of southwest Finland. In Lapland, there are second homes in ski resorts. We saw that in 2018 there were about 509,000 second homes in Finland, and 432,000 of them were owned by private persons. Second homes in Finland are usually located near the owner's permanent residence. The average distance between one's home and second home was 92 kilometers, and the median was 32 kilometers. Considering the economic status of households with second home, we can see that second home ownership rate increases from 12% among households earning less than 10,000 euros per month to 77% among richest ones, with annual income exceeding 140,000 euros. This short comparison revealed following key similarities and differences between second home development in Croatia and Finland. Second home use has a long tradition in both our countries, yet there are some important differences. Second homes are more prevalent in Finland than in Croatia. However, in the last couple of decades, the number of second homes has been growing faster in Croatia. So maybe in the future we might catch up with you. Next, a well-known bias in the selection of a destination is one of the main characteristics of second home development, and the vicinity of natural amenity-rich landscapes or recreational amenities is very often the most important factor to consider when selecting the address for a second home. This is the reason why in Croatia the second home phenomenon is mostly concentrated in coastal areas, whereas in Finland, besides coastline, lakes and ski resorts are also important attraction factors. Concerning the siting of second homes, important difference is that second homes in Croatia tend to adjust or recreate a new settlement matrix, resulting with a large number of zones with dense second home agglomeration, while in Finland, second homes are more often scattered across the landscape. Second home use by definition imply temporality and occasionality, and dynamics of its usage is mostly marked by changes in weather as well as by proximity between first and second home. The frequency of second home use recorded in Croatia and Finland support before mentioned patterns. In both countries, summer is the high season while the winter is the low season, although the seasonality is less salient in Croatia, mostly because we have milder winters. For rethinking of position of second home phenomenon in local development plans, following insights could be also of great importance. Unlike in Finland, management of second home development has rather been neglected in Croatia. Spatial development plans in Croatia do not recognize nor control massive growth in second home ownership. Our land use rules generally do not provide a special treatment for construction of second home, and there is no permission needed for converting second home into permanent home and vice versa. As a result, in areas populated with second homes, we can often see large-scale buildings that do not respect local construction tradition nor basic rules of land use, which is quite opposite to the typical second home landscape in Finland. Analysis of effects of second home development on host areas revealed that a larger number of second homes creates new dynamics in settlement and brings along some benefits as well as some costs. In the case of Croatia, the rise of second home phenomenon delivers overdevelopment of the landscape, especially the coastline, but also provides more dynamism of local economy and revitalizes local social structure. More second homes bring more money into local community, and results showed that we have better educational structure and also depopulation were slower in settlements with higher density of second homes. Although there are clear differences in handling of second home phenomenon in Finland and Croatia, we both are facing a prevailing attitude among locals that depict second home users mostly as bystanders, while our local authorities are still mostly reluctant to treat second home owners' requests seriously because simply they aren't formal residents and they don't have voting rights. This dissonance between their status and their significance for local development provides an opportunity for better utilization of second homes, particularly in rural and peripheral areas that at the same time have been coping with a loss of permanent population and are attractive for temporary residents. The key question concerning development plans for these regions is how to connect second home users' needs and demands with local supply of services. Some previous analysis revealed that, in general, the engagement of second home users in the life of host community has been affected by density and intensity of their local social relations. In other words, Social interaction of part-time residents with locals and even between themselves sparks their communal interest. That said, there is no reason not to expect that a more socially inclusive approach could provide a benefit to the local economy too. Social bonding and affiliation facilitate care for place, which could be directed towards buying local farmers' products, use of local shops, or consumption of local culture. So, more social interaction and place-making activities, both in a real and virtual space, could encourage second home users to contribute to the local economy, to the local community, not just by using their amenities, but also by using a full range of local services. Thank you. Kiitos. Hvala.